My author study over Sharon M. Draper. Sharon M. Draper is a professional educator as well as an accomplished writer. She has been honored as the National Teacher of the Year. She is a 5-time winner of the Coretta Scott King Literary Awards and is a New York Times best-selling author, with Out of My Mind staying on the list for almost 2 years. She was selected as Ohio's Outstanding High School Language Arts Educator, Ohio Teacher of the Year, and was chosen as an NCNW Excellence in Teaching Award winner. So these are some of her books. We have Romeo and Julio, Fire from the Rock, and then these are some quotes that I put that are from the books. November Blues, Out of My Mind, Blended, Stella and Starlight, Double Dutch, Sassy the Birthday Storm. So one thing I really like about Sharon M. Draper is she has an audience. She has a wide range of audience. She writes to high schoolers and young adults, and she also writes for younger children too, elementary age children. For example, Sassy the Birthday Storm is a fun Scholastic book that you can order from Scholastics. It's about a young girl who gets in a little mischief for her birthday. So these are just some fun books by Sharon M. Draper. Some of them are really heavy as far as the material that they talk about. So they talk about racism and sexual abuse and those kind of issues. And then you have the fun ones that are just for children, that are, for young readers. So read-alikes, if you like Stella and Starlight, then you would like To Kill a Mockingbird. Blended, The Hate U Give, and Tears of a Tiger, then read The Skin I'm In. Some more, If This Then That, Tears of a Tiger, The Skin I'm In. Copper Sun, Brown Masquerade. And then The Battle of Jericho, read Slam. Going on down, this is my RA. These are the 3 books that I read from Sharon M. Draper for my author study. I read Copper Sun, was my first book. It's about a young enslaved girl. She lives in Africa. Her life is perfect. She loves her family, and she has everything she's ever wanted. And then some slavery and enslavers come to her island, and they kill her entire family, and they steal her and her beloved friend away. And this is her story. So pacing the story is fast-paced and tells the story of an enslaved girl, Amari. Characterization: Amari is a free-spirited girl who is taken from her homeland and enslaved. She is strong-spirited and has the heart of a survivor. The storyline: Amari is 15 when the story begins. She is taken from her beloved home of Africa and sold into slavery in America. There she faces hardship from every direction. She is raped repeatedly and ends up pregnant from the horrible experience, but she has a love for her child who she sees a future in. The language and style, I like this book. It was mixed with English, and then it tried to stay true to Amari's accent. So the language is told in an accent and tries to stay true to Amari's African heritage. The setting is on a plantation in the South where Amari is sold to a plantation owner's son for sexual pleasure. Tone and mood, the tone is somber. The next book that I read was called Tears of a Tiger. This book it deals with drinking and driving. It deals with suicide and some really heavy subject matter that would be appropriate more for older students. Appeals factor for Tears of a Tiger. Pacing: the chapters are short and told in different character perspectives. The story moves fast at times and slow at other times. Characterization: Andy is a very likable character, but also a bit unlikable. He does choose to drink and drive with his friends in his car, killing his best friend. He doesn't reach out for help when he knows he needs to. Storyline: Rob is a star basketball player and Andy is his teammate and best friend. When they decide to go to a party one night and drive, there are serious consequences. Rob is killed and Andy isn't coping well after the accident. He makes a choice to commit suicide, leaving his friends and family in shock and pain. The language and style is teenage angst and jargon. The tone and mood of this book is somber and sad. The next book I read from Sharon M. Draper was Battle of Jericho. I enjoyed this book. It dealt with issues such as racism and peer pressure and issues that are appropriate for older students. So the appeals factor for Battle of Jericho. Pacing, this story leisurely follows Jericho and his wish of joining a club. Characterization, Jericho is a very likable character. He does have character flaws, such as his willingness to give up his trumpet playing just to join a club, but in the end, his strong moral compass points him in the right direction. Storyline, Jericho is a teenage boy who plays the trumpet. He wants to join a popular club at school, but once he gets in, he realizes not all as it seems. The club is dangerous. The language and style of this book is teenage jargon and some African American vernacular English. The tone and mood is serious tone, and there are some funny things that happen in this book, but for the most part, it's a serious book. It teaches a lesson at the end about not following the crowd and standing up for what's right, even when nobody else is. Next, we have Sharon M. Draper. This is just the author page that I created. She was born August 24th, 1948 in Cleveland, Ohio. She is an educator as well as a writer. I chose Sharon M. Draper not only because I enjoyed the first book that I read from her, I enjoyed it so much, but I also chose her because she's an English teacher like me. And so I felt like I had something in common with her. I think a lot of English teachers, me for example, would love to have a writing career along with our teaching of English, and for her to actually go out there and do it and write books and still stay true to the profession, it means the world to me. And I appreciate authors like her that are just writing for students, writing for kids out there, and trying to tell her story and her truth. I also like that she's an African American that writes African American literature. She's not trying to, point an issue out for somebody else. These are things that she's experienced in her own life. And so it makes it more true to read. For me, it's a more true, realistic experience because the author has experienced it herself. So these are just some more of the books. Going on down, this is just a book page that I put together with showcasing some of her books. She has a lot of books, and I couldn't fit all of them on there, but she has children's books and books for young adults. This is my bookmark. Words fall out of the sky like leaves, girl. Grab a couple and write them down. That's one of Sharon's quotes. I really like that quote, so that's why I included it on a bookmark. Reflection. I have my reflection here, and then, of course, my annotated biography. And that is my presentation for Sharon M. Draper.